Hey guys, so this is a video response for Ben Duvall. So first of all, thank you, Ben, for submitting this comment. It's a very detailed comment. I'm gonna put it up on screen. I'm gonna leave it up on screen here, so this way you guys can see it as I go through it because it's a pretty big comment. So Ben wrote, "I have a genuine question. If I catch the emotional reaction within myself, what do I do with the deep, profound emotions behind the reaction? If I stop the reaction and catch the emotion, don't I need a healthy way to release, express, process, analyze, and cope with the emotions to find some catharsis? Catharsis. Okay, so before we go into the rest of it, because a lot of it just kind of talks about what he's been doing, so we'll do that in just a sec. If we catch your emotion reaction, what do you do with the emotion behind the reaction? Well, what you do is you got to feel it. Okay, you got to bring your attention to your body and you got to feel it. So you just reacted, whatever that reaction is, right? Said something, thought about something, did something, but now you got to feel your body because there's an emotion going on right now and you got to feel it. Okay, that means bringing your attention to your body and feeling the sensation. Don't think about it, feel the sensation. So then the next thing you wrote is, if I stop the reaction, okay, catch the emotion, okay. So don't I need a healthy way to release, express, process, analyze, cope with the emotion? So this is what I mean. See, once we catch the emotion, what do we do? Well, by feeling it, automatically you process it. Automatically you release it. But don't control how that happens. So that means once you're feeling it, what happens if you want to cry? Don't try to hold back, cry. If you are feeling it and suddenly you want to yell, what do? Yell. Just one thing on that. Make sure you respect who's around you. If this is happening and you're engaging with somebody, be respectful. Okay, fully feel it and find another way to express it. And if it still happens that you have to yell, this is where you need to go ahead and judge the current situation and do this somewhere else. Because if you throw it out at somebody, you're just going to create more problems. People don't know that you're processing and they're just going to take what you just threw out at them. All right, so then he wrote, most of my life I suppressed all my emotions since childhood to survive, which caused me serious psychological problems later in life. Sorry to hear that, but this is pretty much everybody. You know, at some point, everybody's experiencing it at some different level. This is why we're doing this work right now. So this way we can start to stop this cycle. We can teach parents, we can teach adults, and then maybe they can teach their children. Hey son, hey daughter, you feel bad? Hey, go ahead and feel, it's okay. You know, don't say why you feel bad, you know, stop, get rid of it. You know, hey, man up or whatever it is, you know. We can stop the cycle, all right? I've been in and out of therapy, finally learned how to emotionally express myself and communicate about my feelings in a healthy and productive way. I've been doing a lot of journaling, workouts, and creative arts while revisiting all my past memories and traumas and reprocessing them now as my now mature adult self. Okay. It was a surreal and profound experience. Awesome. You've been doing a lot of work, so thank you for that. You know, and just so you know, when we do work for ourselves, it's not just for ourselves. Every single person that we now are interacting with are receiving benefits from it. They're receiving the effects of it. Every person that we talk to, every person that's in our life. So that's something you remember for everybody. When we do work for ourselves, we influence every single person that we get in contact with. So it's very, very powerful. It's a chain reaction. This is why we got to do the work. We can't tell somebody to do the work. We got to do the work for ourselves if we want to make a big change. A lot of people think, I'm going to make a change by teaching other people how to do it or tell people how to do it, but they're not doing it for themselves. So therefore, it doesn't help. The way we can make real change, just like what Gandhi says, be the change. Be the change that you want to see in the world. So thank you, Ben. I found that parts of me were still trapped in the past, in limbo, as a small child, unable to process what happened at the time, being so young, naive, and immature. Since this time was an immense emotional burden, has slowly been diminished, that has been weighing and wearing me down my whole life. Something I mentioned earlier. The reason why you've done a lot of work, so you started to release a lot of the stuff on the top, but you're still going to deal with it because you're in a certain process right now. There are different processes in this release, okay? This beginning process is recognizing that there's all these thoughts in your head, and there's all these emotions trapped in, and we got to become aware of them. But then the next process from there is to go ahead and connect to these emotions and start to release them, start to fully feel them. Then from there, like what you're doing there, which is to go into your mind and start to change up, start to see which beliefs, which agreements you had about certain things that you did when you were younger, that made sense when you were younger, but may not make sense now as an adult, and rewrite them, okay? Reevaluate it and come up with a new belief, a new perspective based on your adult self. Then the process from there is to go ahead and let go of all of that. Let go of all of that and no more processing, no more becoming aware of this and that. Let it all go. Okay. That process, a lot of people don't get to it because they get stuck in the last one, which is they're constantly aware of all the things that are happening in their mind. And what happens is we create more of it. I think I've been using sublimation, transference, transcendence to pour all these deep, profound emotions into skills to improve my mental and physical health. Like before mentioned, journaling, exercising, art. When we pour these emotions into something, we are reinforcing it. We are expressing it. You don't want to express your emotions, because when you express your emotions, what happens is you have an emotion and then that goes out into an expression. So let's say before it was let's say an unhealthy expression, right? Let's say it was yelling at somebody or getting upset at somebody. But now we put it into a, quote, healthy expression. So we exercise, so we journal, so we paint sad pictures. That's where sad pictures come from. But if you want to stop feeling these emotions and move on and not have your future be with all these emotions, you don't express the emotion, because you're just going to constantly create a line of expression. What you do is you release the emotions. You let it go. So it's very, very different than expressing. A lot of people, again, the expressing stuff, that is all the last stage. But once you do all this stuff, you got to move on to the next stage. And this next stage is not doing any of this stuff, because you're just going to get caught in a loop. And from what I'm reading, this sounds like that's where you're at. But you've done a good job because you've fully immersed into this stage. But now to enter into the next stage is where you got to let all this stuff go. And you have to know how to process emotions the right way, which is, it's really simple, but it takes work. Okay. I was teaching a class today, and the students joked about it, because I was like, oh yeah, you just feel it and be present. They're like, yeah, Mike, you make it sound so easy. It takes work. You got to know how to be able to fully feel the emotions, to be present with it. And that's it. That's how you release it. And then you let go of all the stories and all the thoughts, because you already know. You already know why things happened the way they did. You already know the trauma stuff. You have a full understanding of it. And if you don't move on to the next stage, you become identified. Your new identity is, I'm a person that has all this stuff. I'm a person that experiences these things, that have this thing and have this thing. That's not who you want to be. Okay? So you need to go and move on into the next stage, where you let go of all of that, and then you put your attention in where you want to go. And it is not all this stuff from the past. Okay, so got to get to that next stage. I hope my experiences might resonate with someone and help them. Well, I guarantee you it has, and it is. And because of what you wrote, Ben, I'm making this video here. And who knows who's going to watch this video now. Okay, so thank you again, Ben. Because I think a lot of mental triggers depend on individual personalities and how your brain interprets novel information and anomalies it encounters in reality, and how the individual brain processes these experiences and emotions. I hope this video has helped you out, Ben, give you some clarification, and maybe for you guys that are watching this now. Okay, I think the biggest takeaway here is, number one, Ben, you did a great job at identifying the stuff, processing the stuff. Okay, you became aware of these things, you got into this stage, and you processed everything. Now at this point, it's time to move on into the next. And the next one is to let it all go, fully feel the emotion, and let go of all of the stories and all these stuff, because you have an understanding already of it. And therefore, you don't need to build a sense of self around it anymore. Okay, you already connected the dots. So now you're going to bring your attention into what you want to create in your life. Okay, what you want to do to help and serve people. Okay, what are your passions about? You bring your attention here, and you don't put your attention in any of the other stuff anymore. And one other thing is, remember when we talk about expressing, don't express your emotions in a, quote, healthy way. That's good for somebody in that last stage. But at this new stage, you just fully feel the emotion and release it. And you don't need to express anymore. You don't use emotions as fuel. Okay? I used to use emotion as fuel for my workouts, for my fitness. And we don't do that anymore. Okay, so we let that go. That method doesn't work for this next stage. That is it. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please leave in the comments below if you have any questions or if you have any other subjects about videos you want me to make on. And as always, please hit the notifications so you know when new videos are coming out. Please subscribe. And thanks for watching, guys. Peace.